So I found the smallest recording studio in Utah. Don't let that trick you. He's got a ton of awesome equipment, awesome instruments, and we're gonna go check it out. Let's go. Do you have a favorite guitar?
They're all tools, and they are all tools for a very specific purpose in each one of them. That being said, custom built, Frankenstein built, like Eddie Van Halen's first big Frankenstein guitars, he called it. Custom built, custom builder, but a guitar line that they make. And this is a nylon string electric, which actually sounds really awesome. This is a cheap, probably a Korean Strat. This
cool.
is another custom guitar. I think it's based off of a Kramer, and it was also given to me by Derek Sivers, and I have used it on rare occasions, but I've left it. They don't make this one anymore, but this is a Taylor Guitar 615 CE acoustic guitar. I have an endorsement with Taylor Guitars, so This is a nice ukulele by Pepe Romero. I got it as an artist deal through Romero Creations. It is, I believe, a Daniel Ho model, who's a buddy of mine, Daniel Ho.
Yeah.
And so he turned me on to this. And
do you use those kind of instruments often when you're recording?
I do. The reason being I have all these different guitars and such.
Yeah.
This is a prototype that became a model. This was the first guitar I ever kind of built myself by taking off the wall parts and putting them together. The interesting thing about this is that when I first had it built, it was it's mahogany, so it's got a cool look without any paint on it. It's a Strat style neck that's a little bit flatter, like an Ibanez style neck in the background. I had taken it to a luthier here in Salt Lake. He saw my guitar when I brought it in and told me it was a giant piece of shit.
Really?
A few days later, after I got it back from him from doing the setup that I had asked him to do, he actually changed his tune pretty drastically. He called it the most spankiest, liveliest, coolest guitar he'd ever played. Really? So I don't know if he was just trying to shoot me down drastically or if he really did think it was a piece of shit and then like changed his mind after he actually played it. But the paint job that's on this was done by my dad, who was a commercial illustrator, and I had taken an idea that he had done for a advertisement.
Yeah.
And I modified it and had him do two kind of versions of it for the front and the back. Standard 5-string bass off the wall. I bought it from Wagstaff's when it used to exist. Matt Hepworth is the guy that turned me on to buying that bass. And I've never bought another bass since. So this was my very first guitar. It used to be a cherry red Fender Japacaster, as I said earlier. And while in music school in LA, Justin Sane, as he went by, his actual name is Justin Pierce, he lives here, and he wanted to trade me a single coil for a humbucker, and I thought, oh yeah, for sure, man, because metal was like, you need humbuckers for that. And like, this is all I got. This was the only guitar I had for a lot of years. And we went to my house, and he took a drill. It's the most hack shit. That's why it's like a Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Drilled out the area to put this particular pickup in. We melted with a soldering iron, we melted a hole in the pick guard to be able to put this in originally. Snake is kind of cool because it wraps around the guitar and then it comes around here and goes around the horn. And
so a lot of thought went into that too.
Yeah, it was a lot of work. It took time. Justin, who I did that first modification with, he is the one that built this.
Oh, okay.
And this is the prototype for what he called a diner guitar, because this
Formica
top came from an actual diner table.
Really?
Yeah.
So I was going to say, because the metal there.
Yeah, that's metal binding from a diner table as well.
That's awesome.
So it was pretty cool. The interesting thing is this thing's been on more records than I have, because I have a lot of guitar playing buddies that have played it and been like, dude, that guitar sounds so good and it feels so good to play and it feels so easy. I want to borrow it. It's like, okay.
That's awesome.
And this one is actually number 96 off of the production line of Ibanez. And I actually met some of the guys from Ibanez once and told them I had this, and they're like, how did you get that? Because that's even before we started selling them.
Really?
Yeah. So I guess they had a different numbering scheme. And
So how did you get it?
Actually, from a guitar store here in Salt Lake. Somebody else had it. They had it on consignment at Guitar Czar before.
So they had it without really knowing.
I guess. Well, I'm sure that they knew what they had. I just think the guy who put it on consignment just didn't want it anymore. This was at the time before Korn hit big.
Oh, okay.
So 7-string guitars were kind of rare because really the only dude using them at that point in time was Steve Vai.
Yeah.
I had my whole first record is done with this guitar.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
It was progressive hard rock kind of stuff, and I was playing 7-string right before Korn was doing the 7-string thing.
Yeah.
So that first record of mine has a lot of 7-string on it. This is not the original pickup that this was. It used to have a green one like this one.
Oh, okay.
But when I got the deal with Seymour Duncan, I said, hey, can we build me a custom, which is what this one is. And can we do it a 7-string style? And they said, sure. So they did it. Now these are commonplace, but this is hand wound, handmade, hand everything. If I took this out of the guitar, you'd see how different this looks compared to the normal pickup that they have, because this is like literally they had to hand cut it for the pieces that went in it and everything, unlike what they do now, where a lot of it's production models. Yeah. So it's different. So this is probably one of the very first 7-string pickups that Seymour Duncan, well, if it isn't the first, it's one of the first they ever made. Yeah. Then this pickup here, an old friend of mine from Canada who ran a guitar store up there, this is the same casing and everything, but it's been rewound and rewired by some guy up in Canada. And I'm actually just contacted my buddy last week to say, hey, who was it that did this? Because now on my website, I do a lot of nerd level shit on every song of what I used and what products and how I did it. Yeah. And I'm still trying to get the name of this guy. He says he had to ask somebody else because the guy changed his name or moved or did something. And
if you were to say how much you've invested just into your guitars, do you have an idea, or is it just like a lot of them have been given to you and you kind of just work?
No, I've only had 2 guitars necessarily given to me. Oh, okay. And that's the 2 from Derek. Although actually I take that back. This was a gift as well. Yeah. Early on. This is the first guitar I actually took guitar lessons with. Oh. That's a $2,000 microphone right there. I got it from playing poker.
Really? No way. That's a good win.
Yeah, it was a hell of a win. By the time I got to the final table, all the other players, the other 9 players, were inconsequential to my chip stack.
So you were in a good spot?
I was in a good spot. Yeah. When they offered this plethora of things to take home, I was going to choose something else, because I do have an endorsement now, not only with this company, Telefunken, that makes that particular C12 version. I have an endorsement as well with Sennheiser, which also distributes Neumann. And at the time, I had a very nice Neumann U87 that had been modified. I wasn't going to walk home with the mic, but everybody there was telling me I was out of my mind if I didn't take this microphone. Okay, well, I guess if everybody else says I should take the mic, I'll take the mic, which is what I did. Yeah. It was a wise choice. I was actually happy once I got home with it and played around with it. Everybody was correct. I was walking out with it. I had multiple name brand recording engineer guys offering me a good chunk of money for it. Yeah. But not what it was worth.
But still a discount,
They had a huge discount. They wanted the microphone. So I was like, no, I'll take the thing home. I'll see what I think about it first. And then I just decided to keep it. Yeah. The beauty of it is that Telefunken was really excited about being a part of the charity thing. Yeah. And they just took me in under their wing as well. Nice. In fact,
so you winning it helped you?
Helped me get an endorsement with the company.
That's crazy.
Yeah. The thing about microphones is that there is a gigantic range in cost. Yeah. You can get mics probably as cheap as maybe just under $100. I know I've got a $100 mic sitting up there somewhere that I've had for decades, and it still works just fine. And it's great for recording guitars, especially live guitars on amps. It's what was kind of its purpose. Yeah, yeah. There's also mics that you used to be able to get. Since Radio Shack is not around, the Radio Shack used to make a mic that I think was in the neighborhood of $30 or $50 that was called a PZM, I think.
Yeah.
And it was just a giant square that you would put on the wall.
Yeah.
And it was meant to get room sounds.
Yeah.
But if you took that thing and clamped it to a stand and stuck it right in front of your face and sang into it here, it was a fairly okay vocal mic. I mean, it's not the thing that you go and record albums
for the
with,
price.
but for the price, and if you're hurting for trying to get going, that was a great way to go.
Yeah.
I don't think they make them anymore. Odd one here is this mic that I have, which is a Groove Tubes MD1A, which is a microphone that was made by Groove Tubes. It is an all-tube mic in terms of what it does. That's actually a tube mic as well. They're both similar.
Okay.
This one's a darker sounding mic.
Yeah.
And it's a good vocal mic. I've used it to record guitars and multiple other instruments as well. This one's a much clearer sounding mic. This one's a clear sounding mic, but it is darker in tone.
Oh, okay.
So it has a different vibe to how it sounds.
Absolutely.
So when it comes to microphones and recording, the cost isn't necessarily the issue, but whether or not it gets you the right sound for what you're trying to record. So when you see people on social media posting saying, hey, what mic should I get for my voice?
Oh, yeah.
My answer is, I don't know. I'd have to hear what your voice sounds like through whatever it is you're singing through. And that's a hard choice. When I first got my first vocal mic for myself, I went to a friend of mine's studio who had a plethora of microphones, along with that Groove Tubes mic. And Groove Tubes, I had an endorsement with them when they were a thing. The owner of the company gave me several other microphones to use in the shootout. So I probably was singing through at least 15 different microphones during that process. Yeah. And it came down to a Neumann at the time and this $200 Groove Tubes. And the Neumanns are upwards of like $4,000 or $5,000. And this Groove Tubes was $200. And the closeness in terms of what I was getting between the $200 Groove Tube mic and the super expensive Neumann was maybe this much in difference. But where it made the biggest difference was in the high end. The high end on the Groove Tubes was a little bit more brittle sounding on my voice, whereas the Neumann sounded smooth. Yeah. And then, of course, the difference between the Neumann and this C12 is that the C12 is even smoother across a bigger range. Oh, okay. So that's why I stuck with that one for the vocals.
With audio, when I'm working with video, I am constantly working with... Some people talk too loud, some people talk too quiet, and so I have to move it without breaking the audio file, so without peaking and whatnot.
Oh, that's not really the mic's problem.
Oh, okay.
That would be more of a thing of, one, the dynamics that it can take, and two, what kind of mic pre you might be using. So over here, this is the power supply to that Groove Tubes mic. Really? And it can run two of them at the same time, although I only have the one. This is a Groove Tubes mic pre called the Vipre, which is the only, as far as I know, all-tube variable impedance mic pre. Well, and the amount of gain that you can get out of it is astounding. So it has a 5 dB knob here, so every switch here is 5 dB. Yeah. And then this is 1 dB on this. Oh, okay. So it goes from very low all the way up to extremely high, and then 1 degree impedance between that for minor adjustments. Yeah. It also has the impedance changes. So here, this is very low impedance of 300. Yeah. Then here it goes to 600 ohms. Oh, okay. Here it goes to 1200, and then here it goes to 2400. And what that does, or at least the original design as Aspen Pittman did it, is that old ribbon microphones, like the old RCA ribbon mics, which you can still buy if you want to spend anywhere from $30,000 to $60,000. Wow, jeez. They are designed for very low impedance, so it would be over here on 300 to use an RCA type ribbon mic, because otherwise it would just be sending too much power through it, and the mic would shit the bed. Oh yeah, is essentially what it is. So it was designed to work with a variance of types of mics to an all-tube preamp, and it has Also, variable rise times that you can change from very slow to very fast on the rise time of how it goes through the tubes and everything.
Yeah.
And then it has a choice of how you want to meter it with the meter. It also has another selection where you can choose the variable impedance,
Okay.
where you can choose just standard input. And it has an instrument input as well, and then it has an instrument input with a pad on it.
Oh, okay.
You can switch the polar and some other things with these switches as well, in terms of like the direction of the wave that it's going, whether it needs to go up or down to start. So that right there is one of the original hand wound ones from Groove Tubes when they used to make them. Then they sold the company, or they sold the product, and somebody else was making them on an assembly line, and they weren't quite as good.
Yeah.
So
that's interesting. So the handmade ones, super old ones, just were done really well.
Yeah. And I know guys, and I've heard stories about other guys as well, who have these, they will never let it go.
Really?
Like it's like their
just
favorite.
Just nothing competes?
Nothing competes.
Okay.
Not from an all-tube standpoint.
Yeah.
It's pure. You can go from barely hearing a whisper to like tear your head off without killing the microphone, but it will just kill you in terms of the sheer volume of how much you get out of it.
But
And
just pure clarity.
pure clarity.
That's awesome.
With just the tube warmth of everything as well.
And obviously, I don't know audio as good as you, and I've said that to people all the time. My mics are simple, my editing is simple, and so I don't end up dealing with like the high-end stuff.
But you know what? If it gets the job done, is anybody really going to care?
Exactly. Yeah. No, that's really what it comes down to sometimes. Like it depends though, because every now and then, like I've kind of wanted. I don't know if you've seen like Zoom. They have like all their recording devices. They've got a nice small one where you can connect up your audio and just have lavs. And I'm pretty sure it does 32-bit audio, where this is not 32-bit. This is quite a bit.
Is it 16?
16, I think,
Yeah,
which is still for me fine.
Well, in the history of my recording career,
Yeah.
I started on cassette tapes with a Tascam Porta 1.
Oh, okay.
And that was 4 tracks on a standard cassette tape.
Yeah.
From there, one of my roommates early on had the Tascam 688, which is 8 tracks on a cassette tape.
Yeah.
Which is really trying to squeeze a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah.
I went from that to recording on ADATs, and ADATs were 16-bit to start, but they had really terrible converters.
Yeah.
So everything above 15K recorded on ADATs does not exist, which means all the air and all the ambience is gone.
Yeah.
Another buddy of mine who was a big-time music engineer, he pointed it out. He goes, well, you do realize that when you look at it on a spectrograph, anything recorded through an ADAT, there's nothing above 15K.
Really?
So I went and pulled up a graph, and sure enough, he was not wrong. It's like literally it's going along and gone right above 15K, nothing more. My first computer setup to record on was an old Mac Performa.
Those are like the old
pizza box style.
Yeah. Okay.
And I had an audio card that could go into it from eMagic. That audio card could do 44.1. It was either 12 or 14 bits, so it wasn't even full CD quality audio at that point. Did a lot of recording with that until I got another audio interface some years later that did up to 48K 24-bit, but I don't think I recorded anything on that interface higher than 44.1 at 16. Then my next interface after that could do up to 96K 24-bit, and that's when I started recording at 96K 24-bit, just pushing the envelope at that time because nobody was doing it. But when I took it to be mastered, one of the songs was recorded 44.1 16-bit. The rest of them were all 96K 24-bit.
Really?
The mastering engineer called up and said, I can hear the difference.
Really?
And I said, that is why I
That's
pushed
why
my
you did
shit.
it. So do you notice a difference when you're hearing it all?
Oh yeah, and
Just
I'd like
wondering if it's noticeable.
I'd like to think that that's not the case, but if I know what to listen for, and I'm paying hardcore attention to it in a quiet environment, I can hear that difference.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that I have like
Super hearing.
super golden ears,
Yeah.
But there is a noticeable difference in the depth and the clarity of, especially when you're using good gear to record it, that gets you closer to what straight analog might be.
Yeah.
Because the one thing analog doesn't do is it's not taking snapshots of everything, whereas audio recording is taking snapshots.
Oh, okay.
So the higher the sample rate and the higher the bit depth, the bigger or the more amount of snapshots that are larger it gets you.
Yeah.
And that gets you closer to just a complete analog sine wave, I guess, if you want to look at it from a sine standpoint. Luna, one of the great things is, if I have all these alternate mixes already all set up, I don't have to do individual bounces for every one of them. I can just mark each one, record this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. And when I do the bounce, it just does that bounce for that particular mix down. If you'll see here on this, you'll see some of that. You see the music, the rear, the lead vocal, background, full instrumental, vocal down, vocal up, no leads, no back, acapellas. These are some of those elements that I had in Logic that I have here in Luna, and I can record these out because that's what all of these little things are allowing me to do, kind of thing. In addition to that, to go into Atmos, I have these two tracks that do things. This one is the timecode track to do Atmos, and then this is the bridge that goes from the template here and puts it into the renderer. And then these are my bass tracks, not bass as in an instrument, but the bass tracks that actually go to the bed tracks, as they call them in Atmos. And then everything else can be an object that I decide to be objects. So as you can see here in the playback, based on everything that I've done here in this mix, now shows up in the renderer as it's going through. So when objects come up or something is playing, the little notifications come up and show where in the room it's at. So as it kicks in here, more vocals, more instruments. So here's a guitar here and a guitar here. In stereo, you're just hearing it in the left and the right and whatnot. But if you have an Atmos setup where you're listening to everything, you'll hear it front, back, how high and low it is, that kind of thing.
That's
it's
so
really
crazy.
Opens up a mix in a way that's not possible in stereo.
That's cool. I mean, that makes sense to why when you're watching a movie, somebody that has a really good sound system, you can hear it through all those speakers moving. So you can hear like all those movements behind you and everything. They're probably doing their audio similar to this, right?
Oh, if you're seeing a movie in a theater, if it isn't in stereo, it's generally in Atmos, and that's how
it's done. That's cool. That's crazy. And how long does it take you to develop, like I guess a single song from start to finish? What's usually your process?
It can vary.
Really?
Yeah, I used to keep, well, if I'm working for a client, I keep track of it with a timer.
Yeah.
But if I was going on my own end of things, from inception to tracking to mixing to mastering, it might take upwards of 60 hours per one song.
Wow.
And that's being conservative sometimes. It also depends on how much is in the song, what it's going to, what it's for, that kind of thing. Everything affects the value of whatever it is that's going to happen.
Dude, it's been awesome. I appreciate this.